You seen the Power Ranger figures?
It's funny because Super 7 makes some of like the dorkiest figures, and then they make some of the best figures. They really run the gamut. Like I bought my dad for Christmas. My gift to my dad was, remember the Beastie Boys sabotage video where one dude his name was like Detective Cookies or something like that. They were doing like that whole. That guy looks just like my dad, right? Like Mike D looks like my dad when he dresses up like a 70s cop. So I gave that to my dad for Christmas. Oh, he's gonna do the unboxing video right here and now.
I gotta see it. I gotta see what. See, Duke is one of my favorites, and I really hope God. Imagine if Super 7 made a Sergeant Pepper.
That would be awesome. The only thing is that licensing to WWE.
No, he actually has like a different contract now, and actually, Major Bendy's podcast actually.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
That's like ripped out of the show. That's insane.
Wow.
Yo, Joe!
See what they need to do though is
Waiting to get Destro.
I got him.
what they need to do. What they need to do, Rob, is they need to make like a little hole in his chest so you can like put the snake in and pull the snake back.
Oh yeah, but Duke's okay. He pulled through.
He was in a coma.
Because Optimus Prime died earlier this year.
People have never woken up from a coma before, Brian.
Optimus Prime died so Duke could live. I'll never forget that.
He died for our sins.
He died for our sins.
Meanwhile, look at the movies.
Oh,
Crazy to see who ended up on top.
They're both good, don't get me wrong. It's just one had the push, the other one didn't.
Everyone started it. And then the next thing.
Smoking the puppet thing.
Attention, you are now tuned in to Pass the Controller. Game roll. Round table, show me your moves. How these moves get good and get in the groove. Gears of war like Sonic hopping the tuck. You don't want the smoke, you'll get bodied by big nuts. Come for the character, stay for the content. Fans from the elite to the civic bind. Conventions are streamed, the topics deceased. So tune in, peace and hair grease. Let's go, baby. Peace and hair grease. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller. Pass that, pass that, pass that, pass the controller.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Man, welcome to another episode of Pass the Controller. That is right. It's a brand new month, brand new. Listen, we talking everything brand new. Video games, video game news, man. We got a whole bunch of. First of all, it's always the fall season that makes it exciting because there's a lot of great releases that's coming out the fall. Can't wait to get into them, man. But you know who I am. I'm McNux. That's what we do here, cuz. Listen, you know the name. Google me, man. But besides that, we got a great group of panels right here, man, that we're going to talk to. And, of course, we got a, friend of the show that's returning back, man, for like the third time as always, man. We're going to talk about his podcast as well, too. Before we do that, man, let's go to the usual, man. What up, Siv? How you been? What's going on with you, man?
Not too much, man, but I got to tell you, like, looking at myself now in this video, in this podcast, the live image of me, I'm reminded of dude from Star Wars Cloud City. Remember Homeboy with the
Lobot?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
What? You're like
Lobot.
like I feel like I'm gonna start getting like distress commands from like Lando Calrissian or something. Hey, I don't know. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Got a good show tonight. I'm really weirded out by the appearance of myself, but anyway, without any further ado, I want to address the puppet to my other side here, who's rocking his PTC gear. What's up, Smoke?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Why is it,
the
his mouth isn't moving? His mouth isn't moving. What's happening?
I'm
It's
so
the happiest
excited
I've
to
ever
be
seen
here. I
him.
can't stop smiling. My eyes are big and wide right now. I just can't stop looking at and staring at you guys.
And you don't blink, man. What's up with that?
Because
Yeah,
I'm
man,
too
why is your
cool
hat
to blink.
sideways?
I'm too cool to blink. If I blink, I'll miss out on seeing how cool you guys are.
I mean, there you go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that, man. Listen, it's good seeing your big bald head here, you know what I mean, with smiley face here, cuz, with the hat on, man. Appreciate you being here, yo.
Same here, man.
Next up, we got, of course, the intern right there, Nick. What's up, Nick? How you been, man?
How you guys doing? I feel like I've been on forever. It's so great. I'm so excited to talk. Oh man, I'm excited because I have a surprise to show you guys later. I'm really excited to talk about it and all this stuff. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good show.
We got Nick Sirianni Panera there rocking his Eagles gear.
Go
Yeah,
Birds.
exactly.
Good,
Go
man.
Birds.
Go Birds. Fly,
I gotta grab my hat and my hoodie. Go Birds. Hey Mark. How you going?
Get out of here. Get out. Anyway,
Denver
and
going?
of
That's
course,
crazy.
and of course, our
Wow.
lovely last guest, man, a friend of the show, always comes. You see him all the time. My man, Rob Franzese, the real life Peter Griffin. What up, Rob? What's going on with you, man?
How's it going, you bastards? It's good to be back.
Hey.
What's the word?
The bird is the word.
And scene.
now, Rob. So the last time, like I said, the last show we haven't talked about as far as your podcast goes, man. So listen, shout out to the rest of your boys there, man. Listen, they're all a great group of people. But tell us about your podcast that you're involved with.
So we have another live show. We actually shoot typically every Friday night. We missed out last night because coastal flooding and Williamsburg was underwater. Yeah. So we figured maybe we wouldn't drive in the Jurassic Park rain to put on a,
right.
a live show for 1 week. So we call it the Break Room Podcast. Mm-hmm. Me, my buddies Vin, Chris, and Joe put on a hell of a show, and we have a lot of fun with it. It's like our excuse to get together once a week and see each other because we all used to work together. Now we don't, and it's good to be able to hang out with some of my best friends and talk everything. I mean, we pop culture, TV, movies, wrestling, because my buddies Chris and Joe are huge wrestling nuts, and they always slip in a little Shawn Michaels sucks or something like that in there because there's a fierce rivalry between Joe and Chris because Joe is a huge Bret Hart fan and hates Shawn Michaels, and Chris is a huge Shawn Michaels fan.
The Montreal screw job lives
hilarious.
on.
I'm the same way too. Like I'm a huge Shawn Michaels. I love Shawn Michaels, man, for real. So yeah, I'm on his side, man. Absolutely. But
we just have a good time with it, and we do it live from YouTube. And when people comment, we take their comments on the show, and it truly is like a community. And we have our regulars that come in. Shout out to the regulars, like from the Dungeon
like
podcast.
Really sounds like Pass the Controller, except a lot better.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about better. You guys actually have remote guests. We're trying to figure out that hurdle.
Zoom.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we get the bougie ass roadcaster thing with all the sounds, and he's got a little stream deck thing where he hits the buttons and it changes the scenes. And I'm not on that technical side. I just show up and look pretty. That's my job.
I'm gonna say whoever handles that on the technical side, man, does a great job.
That would be Chris. Chris brings it all together, but between Chris and Vin, they're great at like clipping the show and putting up little clips because the conversations that we get into, it just gets out of hand so many times, and it's so funny because
sounds like Pass the Controller. Yeah,
like Chris with his rants, and he just starts screaming, and it's really we do a lot of laughing.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm telling people, if y'all haven't followed the Break Room Podcast on YouTube, please do so. Like seriously, I know y'all not on Twitch yet, right? Are y'all gonna put it on Twitch soon, or?
I got to talk to the gang about that. I think it's available with the podcast, like where you typically find podcasts, but mainly YouTube has been our friend, and hopefully we'll get monetized and be able to keep the show going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we'll get Dave Portnoy to buy us out or some shit. Go on Barstool.
Listen, we wish that'd be the ultimate goal right there, man. Get
Right.
bought out by
Great.
Barstool.
He just
Show.
got all that money back from getting Barstool back because they what did they sell it to him for like 5 cents or something like that?
Pretty much, dude. So opportunities right there, you know,
because he had some kind of stipulation where he sold it to them, but if they decided to sell it, he would get like a percentage of their gains. So they're like, this is a total loss. We'll just give it back to the guy so he can keep shitting on pizza across the country.
Oh man, he gave a bad review to like the greatest pizza place on the planet. Boy, was I upset.
Yo, for real.
You know what's really funny though? We looked up like what his highest rated pizza was, and it was this place called DeFara's in Brooklyn on Avenue J. And you know, for my buddy Joe that's on the podcast's birthday, we ended up going to Brooklyn for a pizza crawl.
Right.
And I actually brought my dad with me for this one because he's, you know, from Brooklyn and knows, you know, good pizza.
Right.
And you know, it was trash.
Wow.
It was
Are you
trash.
serious? Really?
When I tell you the disappointment when you're supposed to be getting the creme de la crop of pizza and it's like thin crust, cold, and like just not satisfying in any way. I was like, I felt betrayed.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Truly.
Yeah, because you think about it, Rob. It's like New York pizza. It's supposed to be New York pizza. Anywhere you go to, you're supposed to have like competition as far as like
get
great
a slice
pizza.
on the corner.
You know
but you know, it's like my dad says: if we're gonna dance, then dance. So we ended up hitting 3 different pizza places. So DeFara's was a big no. We ended up going to L&B Spumoni Gardens, which is famous for their reverse Sicilian slice. So they actually put the cheese down first and then put the sauce on top.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Got to be like at least an easy 9.5 out of 10.
I know,
you know,
that's
like
right, man.
fantastic pizza. But the last place that we hit was this place on 18th Avenue in Brooklyn called Da Vinci's, and Da Vinci's makes a very, very good classic Brooklyn Napolitan style pie.
Yeah.
And but apparently what they're known for, this particular location, is their Sicilian slice. So I'm gonna have to go back there and judge the Sicilian versus the Napolitan.
I'm going right
triangle
now.
Pie is
I'm
my favorite.
now.
Sicilian's like I'll take or leave a Sicilian pie.
I learned something
but the regular
recently.
pie.
So I saw something online, and I don't know, man. I didn't fact check this or anything, but if this is true, it's kind of the worst thing I've ever heard. There's a thing called Pittsburgh pizza, I guess.
I think I heard about that too. Yeah.
You know what I'm
already
saying?
got canceled in my mind.
What they do
Pittsburgh
is
and pizza, no.
They just put dough in the oven, right? And they make a giant, like a cracker, right? And then when it comes out, they put cheese and put cheese and sauce on it. So the toppings are cold. Dude, I swear to you, I'm praying this is fake. Maybe maybe somebody's gaslighting me here, but
that's some Ohio pizza. That's what that is.
The Steelers fans. What the
I
heck?
saw this thing. Yeah, it was awful, and I'm like,
Pirates. What the hell?
they're like, yeah, it's a thing you can order, but it's almost like specific to Pittsburgh. I'm like, really? That sounds absolutely
rustic,
terrible.
Man. Everybody's trying to be all rustic and all that too. And they're like, come on, dude.
A la carte or whatever.
Yeah, it's the
man.
Pittsburgh Pirates because it
carte.
tastes like booty. That's why.
That's what it is.
Hey,
for real. Exactly.
Now I will say that there is a place in Huntington on Long Island here, called Little Vincent's, and they have a slice where they make a normal pizza, and then when it comes out of the oven, they'll sprinkle uncooked mozzarella cheese on top of there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but not all of
it's
it.
like another layer of cheese on top.
But I'm
of
thinking
cheese.
this Pittsburgh thing. That's like
But
the
that's
whole pie.
terrible. That's
like they just make a sheet of bread, right? And then it comes out, and then they're like, okay, let's throw some toppings on. Like,
see,
okay.
that's proof that there's no God.
I know that.
Welcome to our new segment, Pizza the Controller
Nah, man,
with
pass
Rob.
the plate, man. Basically, God darn.
Pass
dude.
pass the cheese.
That's
like what
crazy,
the hell?
man.
You're gonna
Every
pass
time
on
Rob
that
comes we're
plate.
gonna talk
That's
about pizza
Pass
now.
on that. Yeah, you ain't lying, yo. You ain't lying. Listen, man, but
Pass the cannoli. Hey,
man. But yeah, listen, it's glad to have you back again, Rob, man, for real, for another episode.
Appreciate
for
you
sure,
guys.
man.
Thank
And like
you
I
so
said, I got to
much.
jump in with y'all podcast as well too later in the future.
Yes,
You
we
know?
definitely have to have you on. In fact,
Seriously,
I'm gonna
man.
pick your brain after the show to see how we can figure out live guests because I've had a few people that were interested in being live guests.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
Even Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie, Matt Hill.
I'm
He's
gonna tell you right
super
now.
nice
Listen,
guy.
all of us are available, cuz. So yeah, like, dude, hit us up, man. We'll definitely do your podcast for sure.
We're gonna have the crossover stream. It's gonna be like the Ghostbusters are gonna flip out because they're gonna cross the stream.
Oh man, I can't wait to cross. I can't wait to cross my stream with your stream, Rob. I can't wait.
That's
right.
it.
Let's go.
We'll get all our streams in each other,
and we'll just line them all up.
Yeah, straight up piss test easily. Let me stop.
R. Kelly live.
Listen, you know how we do a pass controller, man. We always go through what games we've been playing these days, man. But let's go to Civ real quick. Civ, what you been playing these days, yo?
All right. Well, I know I'm late to the game here, but I finally got a chance to play the intergrade / intermission segment of Final Fantasy VII remake, because I played Final Fantasy VII remake on PS4, played it on PS5, platinumed them both, but I finally got a chance to jump into intergrade. And so basically what it is, it's cool. It's like the story of Yuffie and what's going on while the main group is doing their thing, you know.
Right.
So you have Cloud and Barrett and Tifa and Charlie Sheen, and they're part of that.
Charlie Sheen?
you know what I'm talking about. Is Biggs, right? Isn't it Biggs?
Okay.
He looks and sounds just like Charlie Sheen's. I just call him Charlie
I
Sheen.
get you. Yeah.
And then there's Badger from Breaking Bad is Wedge, I think, or Biggs, whatever. He's the other one. Anyway,
talking about Star Wars.
That's what they're based on. Yes, Biggs and Wedge.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it is. So Yuffie is your ninja character. In the original Final Fantasy VII, you meet her later in the story, and you have the option to add her to your main party or not. Most people will add her. She's pretty cool. But this gives her kind of like a little bit more of a backstory. So what we're looking at here, this footage, this is not from Intergrade. This is from the core story, but it's okay. You get the idea. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to
yeah, it's all right.
I'll get the old video, man. If you want to check out Intergrade, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, but it's really cool. So it's a whole, like, it's only 2 chapters long, but it's really cool, very challenging. On the hard setting, it's like legit hard. I still have 2 trophies to bang out for 100% completion, and basically it's
wait. So Civ, on hard setting, did you beat the what's that house that
in the regular the core story? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
in Don Corneo's
little
arena.
Yeah,
I beat it. It took me like
Don Corneo's Little Italy.
It's like a whole
Don Corleone. Hey.
Don Corneo's Don Corneo's pizza. No, but that's a callback, people. Anyway, no, you fight him. Yeah, I did that. on hard. Yeah, but
good job, GG, man. That's the hardest fight ever, dude.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, no, dude, Intergrade has much harder boss fights. My God, this one arena fight, dude. I mean, I've done it like 3 or 4 times now, and I'm just getting my ass handed to me, and it's just totally rough. But I love Final Fantasy VII. They just announced they're going to do Rebirth here. I guess first quarter or second quarter next year. I think that's due out.
Ooh, looking forward to that.
I pre-ordered the collector's edition, so I'm getting the Sephiroth statue with that.
Oh, that thing is sick. Yeah, I'm not even like a big Final Fantasy guy, but that is just
we're definitely unboxing that thing. First of all, it was hard to get. That thing was, I had to, sacrifice my firstborn for that, but decisions had to be made, and I needed my Sephiroth.
Secondborn just got upgraded to first.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah, so. But no, it's definitely cool. If you're an RPG fan, check it out. Final Fantasy fan, check it out. I'm still a fan of that franchise, so yeah, I had to do. Oh yeah, get my Buster Sword right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That joins. And AJ,
is that a Buster Sword? Or you're just happy to see me?
Don't let that thing fall.
Oh God, man!
I did play the 7 remake. I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. I don't like turn-based combat or typically JRPGs, but with the new one, it was I really enjoyed that combat system. I thought it was a good story, and I have yet to play the Yuffie stuff. I bought the bougie version and all that kind of stuff, so I have access to it. I just never actually played it. Yeah.
I purposely waited to play it because I wanted to get a little bit closer to when they release Rebirth, because the story kind of mates up to that.
Right.
And now the newest story is that what they're going to do is they're going to release 3 episodes in this remake series, right? So we're going to get remake, we're getting Rebirth, and then there's going to be a 3rd one, and then it links up directly behind where the movie Advent Children starts. And by the way, Final Fantasy Advent Children is still to this day the greatest video game movie ever
Yep,
made.
I got my copy, man. I love it, dude.
I'm serious. It's so good that it doesn't even get talked about. It's so
Right.
good. It's indisputably good, and it never shows up on radar. Because anytime you bring up a list of video game movies, you mention that movie, and the whole conversation shuts down. We're like, oh yeah, that is the best one. Really, it really is
See?
factually that good.
So
I've actually never seen it.
Oh, it's
man.
amazing. Oh man,
Hold on, Rob, you on that
I've
dilly
never
dally.
played Final Fantasy VII.
You on that dilly dally, Rob. Come on, man.
Dilly dally shows
We call
I
him
guess
Dilly
the
Dally
3
Rob.
releases is like the modern day equivalent to having 3 discs, you know?
Yeah,
It
right.
is.
Yeah, right. That's basically it. DLC.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo, but it's
Oh,
worth
yeah.
it though. It's worth it, man.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep. But Rob, what you been playing, man?
So I played a lot of Starfield.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And you know what's really funny, and I've even said this on my podcast, so I'm like dead to rights, I hate Bethesda games.
Yes, you do.
I didn't like Oblivion because it was so buggy. I didn't
Uh-huh.
like Skyrim because I don't know, I found it unforgiving in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout felt very dead and bland to me. It got old really fast.
Right.
But this Starfield, man, I'm on my 3rd playthrough of the story,
Sheesh.
and
Wow.
now I'm having a new level of fun because now I'm playing with modded play, and I downloaded that Tornado app because I'm playing it on the PC with the Xbox Game Pass.
Okay. So you
And let me tell you, it's a fantastic game. The story's great. The graphics are cool. It's
Mhm.
not quite so open world as like say No Man's Sky where you just hop in a ship and fly out to space. There are like you'll have to like pick space on the map and then like it kind of ports you there. There is some flying and stuff, but flying isn't your primary method of transport.
right.
Each planet can be treated more like a biome than an actual whole planet. There are some like completely dead moon like planets that you can just go on and land anywhere, but
Mhm.
of course you got your cities and that kind of stuff too. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I kind of so this was funny. This game was actually my return to streaming for a while.
Yeah.
I hadn't streamed the game in a very long time. I think not since we did that drunk Sea of Thieves with
Oh.
PG Sweet.
Yeah.
And it was I was gonna just do it on stream because I figured I was gonna get mad at the game and it would be funny content to rage quit.
Yeah.
But man, I got sucked in like it was a vacuum, and it was a fantastic game. It was probably the game I've enjoyed the most in like this year, besides say like Legend of Zelda, because that's like a whole nother category.
Right. Right.
That's an experience, even more so than a game. But I was pleasantly surprised with this. Bethesda killed it. I'm man enough to admit that they are capable of making a good game, which makes me even more angry about the other games because it's like, did you try to make them shitty?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Because
What went wrong
they
in that
fixed a lot of
process?
things that were wrong with like say Skyrim. Like I always found difficulty with the people that follow you around getting killed, or like severe consequences for making a mistake and that kind of thing.
Right.
You don't find so much of that in this game.
Now, are you and Civic are the same as far as going through these games, from beginning to end, A to Z. Is this game? Are you like in attempt to 100% it? Is this game worth 100%ing? Or I know it's like a lot of content.
I'm not gonna 100% the game, but it does have replayability.
Yeah, because online it did say that to 100% it is 205 hours, like legit 205 hours. You know what I'm saying? Which is
That
I mean, I
doesn't
poured
sound-
250
that doesn't sound like a
hours into
lot,
Legend
though.
of Zelda, so that's
Yeah.
yeah. and
But
you said-
I also played Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat game.
we're gonna talk about that more. Yeah.
Not the Switch version.
I was about to
before we
say,
even get
thank
into
you.
that conversation. I got it for PS5.
You know.
I also
you know.
streamed the full story mode of that game, which was outstanding. But I feel like there's a severe lack of like the crypt feature, where like you can like go into like explore the Mortal Kombat world and like unlock stuff. Now it's all cosmetics being purchased with
Yeah.
currency that you have to buy with real money, and I don't believe
They are going to be adding.
Is there like a battle
They
pass?
are going to be adding more DLC.
Yeah.
And everything else. So they may be, because of fans, because of fans demanding the crypt. Because a lot of people have been talking about that. I wouldn't be surprised if Ed and the crew decide to say, you know what, let's bring that back.
Bring back Cooking with Scorpion. Remember that from Deadly Alliance?
Yo,
That's a throwback. For
that
you.
would be something that they do.
That's one game series that has an extensive collection, and I've actually played every one of them. Every Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah,
Nice.
right.
All the way back to the Sub-Zero game and the Shaolin monks and all that stuff. It's,
You know what's so funny? Like, actually, just because I'm going to actually throw in that news article since you mentioned it as well too, because now this is coming from Nintendo Life, man. Mortal Kombat 1 will absolutely be getting an update on Switch. Ed Boon actually says that. He says we'll be getting an update. Yeah, he understands that it doesn't work out for the Switch. You know what I mean? Like, as far as, you know, the graphics and all that too, like, you know, compared to PlayStation and Xbox and PC for sure. So here's the thing. I mean, is it really worth, honestly, why get on the Switch though? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Why get on the Switch?
Nintendo has always had some relationship with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but
with their mobile platforms, but they really, I mean, I've seen the side-by-side comparison of the graphics.
But you look at other games, Rob, like, let's say with a lot of big, large games. I mean, honestly, I know Nintendo Switch is, you know, is not meant to run big, large games, except for Zelda. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only game that that's probably the biggest game that Nintendo can run. And you're gonna put out something like Mortal Kombat, man, and then, you know,
But it
looks like a 4-year-old drew it from memory.
But Mortal Kombat 11 was fine on the Switch. What happened? You know, like that's the only reason why I don't. I guess we can go into this topic since we're talking about it, and I know Nick has some opinions, and then we can circle back and talk about what everybody else is playing.
Right,
but
for sure.
if we are going to talk about Mortal Kombat now, let's because my first thing was like, yeah, I mean, I memed it a little bit, and I was kind of getting on Nintendo's case, you know, the Switch, and kind of said some stuff that was like, yeah, like, I mean, it doesn't have that, you know, technical potential to run games like PCs and next gen platforms, but you know, let's be fair.
Yeah.
Nintendo has never chased the big tech ball. You know, they don't go for what's the biggest powerhouse console. They scale things so that, one, they're affordable, two, they're accessible, and three, they can run the basic types of games that most Nintendo gamers are looking for, which is a lot of like their individual IP stuff. So you got your Zelda, Mario, Metroid type games. So most people don't think to look for like Doom on the Switch or Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch, but those two games ran great. So what happened? So as much as I hate to say it, it really looks like the blame now that we've, you know, in retrospect, it just looks like the game was probably rushed. It was ported poorly, and really that falls on NetherRealm. I mean, it does. It's ultimately, that's their quality control, is if they want to put out a game like that and stand by it and say, okay, yeah, we beta tested this thing. This is what it looks like. Here it is. But one good thing you know about that team is they're going to fix it.
Do you think that we've reached a point technologically where the games that are going to have the highest fidelity on the new systems, the gap is too wide for Nintendo to catch up or have those games?
Yes, it's
the Switch was already behind.
Faster than you think. I did kind of have a fight with somebody about this, and luckily, PTC, we don't have a whole lot of drama, you know, especially like, you know, on our different sites. But one person tried to tell me, they were like, because I made a point. I'm like, everything Nintendo has ever made, every system has always been secondary technologically. All of them. Now, that's not a put down. I'm just saying they know what they can do. They want to stay within a price point. They want to stay within a certain niche. So great, they do it wonderfully. All right, listen, the Atari Lynx was a far more superior console, or a handheld console, and the Game Gear was a far more superior console than the Game Boy. The Game Boy
But then I will
won.
also say that the Super Nintendo is probably the last time that they were the superior system, because if you compare it to the Sega Genesis, it was capable of more.
Well, I mean, you know, if you're talking about,
I mean, just down to like something
as
simple as like, if you put Battletoads Double Dragon for Sega Genesis and for Super Nintendo next to each other, they have a different soundtrack. And it's clear.
Well, it depends on the game. The 16-bit era was kind of weird. You know, there was that was the closest they ever were. Maybe if they were a little bit ahead, okay, yeah. But look at like somebody. The fight was about this. Somebody said, "Yeah, but you should look at like the N64 compared to the PS1." That's such a flawed argument.
Yeah, right.
The hell are you talking about?
Right.
And they're not even the same generation of console. And I was like, oh God, like what? The N64, because that was the one time Nintendo shot the moon, right? They wanted something that was super high tech, and then all the programmers that were third-party supporters didn't know how to program for it.
Mhm.
So that's why there are only like 300 games for the N64, because it was a pain in the ass to program for. So everybody jumped ship. The only time Nintendo even dabbled in the idea of making something into a powerhouse was the time that they paired up with Sony because they wanted to make the world's first disc-based CD-ROM console, which it wouldn't have been anyway. It was, obviously TurboGrafx 16 Turbo CD was the first one, but I was like, it brings me up to like today. So like you look at like the Wii and the GameCube and the Switch, they were all underpowered,
Right.
all of them. Okay. And it's still okay because Nintendo doesn't need to be the most powerful one out there. They can do incredible things with lesser technology based on the people that have great ideas for their unique IPs. That's what gets them over every single time. People want Mario, they want Zelda. Nobody's going to do that stuff better than Nintendo.
Mhm.
I agree. They have their own niche. They have their own dedicated fan base. They don't need to get into this arms war. They're just doing their own thing.
That's it.
And I mean, it's the trade-off with Nintendo. Nintendo is like, I would say, almost like the Apple of video games
Mhm.
because, yeah, you're going to pay $60 for that video game from beginning to end of shelf life of that system, but you're buying a complete game as well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you buy a Super Mario game, you're not downloading DLC later to get more levels or get different outfits. The game is a complete game. And that's where Nintendo really shines with their original IPs, with Mario, Zelda, Kirby. Like you get those games, the Switch is built for those games.
That's all you
like,
need.
and that's really
Rob,
all you
said
need
it.
for it.
You said it best, and I'll take you one step further. I sometimes refer to, and not in a hateful way, but I sometimes refer to Nintendo as a video toy company because they've always been about Rob the Robot. They've always been about amiibos. They've always been about cardboard things that you can put together to make your Labo, So,
I remember
okay, so
that.
they've always been about, and I commend them for it. That's great. They really are innovators in that regard. They do a lot of things really well. Some things they don't do as well, but when they try to do Mortal Kombat or something like that, yeah, I mean, there's maybe they're going to come up short. So like you just got to know what you're getting yourself into. I think most people who are buying Switches aren't really like maybe the core demographic for like Mortal Kombat games anyway. But I mean, it's selling well. People like it. People play it.
Yeah.
But
I feel like part of
the
the
problem isn't that Mortal Kombat looks bad. It's not that it looks bad. It plays bad. That's worse. When you see some of the glitches in the technical comparisons, it's not just the graphics. The playability of that game is really, really bad. So IGN gave it, what was it? I think an 8. They gave it an 8. No, they gave it an 8 on all the other platforms. They gave it a 3 on the Switch. That tells you something. Because IGN is very Nintendo friendly too. All right, let's call it what it is. They usually grade on the curve.
But it's like you said, it's probably on the studio. Like the Switch can't help that this game runs shit on our system.
I disagree. I disagree because, like, I mean, remember how Pokemon ran when Scarlet and Violet came out? Like, it's just what the Switch is. Like, yes, we're at a point where the PlayStation 5 and the Series X and like this new generation is astronomically past this, and I guarantee whatever Nintendo comes out with next, it will still be underpowered compared to the current gen we're on. The PS5 and Xbox Series X are what, like 3 years old at this point? We're well into this new generation, and Nintendo's still like PS3 360 era.
I've heard that their successors even not going to have OLED. So I'm like, what are they doing?
Well, that's the thing.
It's the screen. Like, you don't need OLED technically, but like it's, I don't know. I don't remember the last time I took my Switch portably. I use it for, like we said earlier, Mario Party, Mario Kart, like Smash, all the stuff I play with my friends, and like the party aspect of it. That's what made them billions of dollars with the Wii.
Yeah.
Why would they change if it's still making them money? I just think that if you're really a Mortal Kombat fan, you're probably not. The Switch wasn't a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing.
It's a double-edged sword. Like we're evolving past this.
Yeah.
And if they want to really truly be like, if it's the big three, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, like they have to be willing to be on par with them if they want to compete. But like Brian said, I don't really think that's their plan. I mean, getting into another topic slightly, what Microsoft said about wanting to purchase Nintendo and then just laughing at them like this ain't gonna happen.
I
Like,
can't wait for
not a
Nintendo to do
chance.
the heel turn and just like put out something
Take
that's
us.
like as powerful as a Steam Deck and just like just sink
They
everybody's shit.
could.
That'd be
They have
insane.
so
They
much.
can.
Did you see they had
Imagine
like
Zelda
a
with
Pikachu
Unreal
Vanguard?
5.
Oh my
Come on.
god! I mean, they have
Here's the
previews.
thing.
They had previews of that too before. You know what I mean? So it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It
The
can
best
be
way
done.
to play these, like, here's the thing, like, if you want to get into this, like, it's unfortunate, but like emulating it through PC for a lot of these games is so much better. Like, my friend is a huge Zelda fan. I'm not gonna say his name so he doesn't get in trouble, but like, he was like, I can't get it. I have to wait because it's running like dog shit on the Switch.
Hey, you got to know too. Nintendo has they are in the middle of their heel turn right now, whether you realize it or not. Two reasons. One, they shut down their online store where you can't basically go out and buy any more like retro games from older consoles. But they'll take you to court. God forbid should you download a Mario ROM, they'll take your whole house from you. But the other thing is meanwhile, all the shovelware that's available on the Switch, they have no quality control whatsoever over like a lot of the games that get put on that platform. And that used to be their bread and butter. Remember the Nintendo seal of quality?
Yep.
Like we approve every game.
Yep.
We don't let crappy games happen. Okay, well,
Not anymore.
explain the existence of LJN.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, but they have kind of they've let their guard down a little bit, I think, with regard to some of the quality control stuff out there. There are games that are slipping through. Ultimately, when a game gets made and published, okay, it's incumbent upon that third-party developer to make a good game. But ultimately, in the end, Nintendo does sign off on those. They have their own people in there in their internal review boards who have to take looks at that and says, okay, yeah, this is up to spec. Yes, you can launch it on our console. And for a big high profile AAA game like Mortal Kombat, I know I'm kind of like flipping my own script here, but I do agree with Nick to a degree. It's like, what are you guys doing? Didn't you see this? Like, did you not play it?
Oh, they did. They did.
is.
And listen, that's what it is. They don't care. Nintendo's known for just money grabbing no matter what. You know, I mean, regardless.
All these companies are known for
Regardless.
money grabbing.
Well, that's true.
Some are better.
That's true. Yeah.
Some are better at hiding
that's
than
true.
others.
You're right. But Nintendo's like, listen, we'll put it out there, man. You know, because your kids, your young kids want to get the Mortal Kombat 1 for the Switch because all they have is a Switch. Riding here, $70 right now. But again, with the long load time,
You let your young kid play Mortal Kombat 1 on your, like, really? That's what
right.
you're
There
gonna
you
pick
go.
that one up?
That's their marketing
Like,
right
it's
there.
like we've always talked about this on the show. Like, it's also like it's on the consumer as well. Like, anyone should probably assume at this point, like, any trailer we saw for Mortal Kombat wasn't on the Switch. It was obviously on like
Now, was the
Video,
new Street
PC,
Fighter
Xbox,
released on
all
the
that.
Switch or no?
No, and I hope not.
I wonder why. They're probably waiting. Like, they probably were like, wow, it takes so long to make this game like a shittier version to run on the shittier console. It's what it is.
Yeah, with your hardware, like I said, that's the problem with Mortal Kombat 1 right now. Long load times, frame rate drops, visual downgrade. You know what I'm saying? Ed Boon's like, I'm gonna clean that up, man. You should have cleaned that up in the beginning, but you know, that's just
or delay that version, like it happens.
Exactly.
I was surprised that they were announcing a Mortal Kombat game. I was like, damn, it felt quick.
Yeah.
There was a
It felt
rumor.
quick.
There was a rumor, and I don't know where this stands, like right before the game dropped, but there was a strong rumor about 2 weeks before Mortal Kombat 1 came out that they were going to eventually make a port for the PS4. Now, I don't know where that stands now. To me, that's probably getting bumped.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, it can handle it. What would be,
Not true, but
look, come on.
I mean, the thing's probably going to
Switch.
sound like it's going to lift off to Mars, but you know.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Starfield. Ooh.
Sales is not going to do that. Well, this is sales, but yeah, that's all it is. The usual thing, you know. But so hopefully Ed Boon keeps his word and you know.
Oh, they've always done. They'll fix it. They're going to take care. I don't even worry about that. It's going to get there. But it's just unfortunate we had to go down this road about it because I mean, wow, those, like, to Rob's point, man, those comparisons visually, they were some painful things to look at.
They're funny though. Those memes, the memes, great memes.
Always the
Great
one
memes.
with Katana going.
Yeah, with the
It's the best. Yeah, it's my favorite.
Look, at this point, we'll get to the point with the game where we can stop making fun of all the bugs and make fun of like Megan Fox's terrible performance. Like, we can get into the actual
that was like cardboard
game,
with
you know?
wings. That was terrible.
For real.
Yeah, it was like that pizza we were talking about earlier. Like, it's,
it took me out of the game because I was like genuinely enjoying the storyline, and then the vampire chick starts talking. I'm like, There's something really off about like this
I
performance.
am
Like
a
it doesn't
vampire.
sound genuine, or and I love
Oh,
her.
well, Megan
I'm in
Fox
love
is
with her.
here. We
She's
have
gorgeous.
Megan Fox. Megan Fox is right here. Wait, I just heard her.
What is
Where was
what is
she?
funny to me?
Megan,
and
I love you, but you're terrible. Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg. I gotta throw this back at you guys a little bit because it is funny to me how people expected a good performance from her. I'm like, it's not
She's
like
an
it's like
actress.
it's like listen,
mean, yeah.
like when
See
Peter
Expendables 4?
when Peter Dinklage initially did the voice of the ghost character on the original
The Wizard. He came
Yes,
from the moon.
Destiny game.
Right.
Destiny 1, yeah.
That wizard was from the moon. Yeah, he just totally phoned it in. And people had the right to complain because he just happens to be a very talented actor. So
Right.
for him to put in a bad performance, it would spawn anger. But when Megan Fox has a bad performance, I just don't know what did you guys expect? Like it was not going to be this Oscar caliber performance. So I'm just like I'm shocked.
It's the same thing.
We expected
I'm
something
shocked
sexy,
that people
man.
were shocked.
They might as well have
Megan
hired
Fox,
Kristen
guys.
Stewart. She had the emotional range of her.
Brian, that's how I feel about when people decide to buy the game on the Switch in the first place. Like, what were you expecting?
Oh,
You
man.
did-
Do you think that the
Like,
Switch
wait,
version is so bad that it heightens her performance and it doesn't seem as bad?
Yeah,
because the
it
game
does.
is so
Yeah, you're
bad
right.
around?
It does. It really does, yo.
It matches up because you
Yo,
hope,
Grammy.
you hope
Grammy.
it's a
Give her a Grammy
glitch,
on the
but
Switch,
it's not.
cuz.
There's no bug that's gonna fix that one.
Yeah, give her a Grammy on
there
the
ain't
Switch,
no
man.
patch for that.
All right, enough dogpiling. Smoke. What are you playing these days, buddy?
Before we get into the major game that everybody's been talking about, one of the games that I've been playing, it is on PS4, but you can play it on PS5. Take Punch Out and one of the best animes around, like Dragon Ball Z. You merge it into one, and you get Thunder Ray. And Thunder Ray is without a doubt a fun game, straight to the point. It's not long. It's just enough for you to have some fun and all. You're this boxer who basically you're training with your trainer, and then all of a sudden you're set off to this galactic challenge, and it's really good though. It's really good.
This is actually dope. I didn't know
Yo,
I know this is
His
what?
art style's cool.
What is this? I need
Hey,
this.
this
Thunder
is
Ray.
dope. This is really dope, cuz.
Oh, man, this
Yo,
looks like
what
Punch-Out!
Ray the name of the guy?
what platforms is this on?
PS4, / PS5.
Oh my
I
gosh,
believe
it
it's
looks
on
awesome.
Xbox, but definitely I got it on PS4 when it came out, and I'm like, oh my god, it took me back. But it's very
Great art.
animated, very violent. Like, oh my god,
I love you had to say very violent.
no, you have to see it.
Coach
Like
Smith.
it gets
I
ultimately.
see the bloody. Yeah, for sure.
Yo,
yeah,
I need
you
this.
get-
I need this in my life. I'm
And
making a
Ray-
note of
Ray
this
is
right
great.
now.
Ray
It
gets
does look
jacked
cool.
up.
I gotta fast forward because I'm interested as far as like how, dude. This is dope.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What the
this is
heck?
dope.
It's Metallo.
Okay.
What the hell?
Okay, this
Thunder.
is dope.
Ray. Okay. Oh, this is getting got.
Oh
This is
yeah,
getting
I'm
got
grabbing
tonight.
this, man. I'm grabbing this,
Yep.
cuz. Yeah. Yes, sir.
No.
Oh,
The
that's
voice-
cool. Yeah, I like
Is
it.
this it's a cage fight? Is he in prison? Is he wearing the gi? What the?
No, he's fighting all these galactic aliens. He was in a boxing match and he beat this contender, like this champion, and he was about to get announced as champion, and then all of a sudden he gets teleported to this galactic arena and all, and he has to take out.
Oh, so this is the
Ultimate
plot
Fighter.
of the second Mike Tyson's Punch Out game. You realize that? That's it. There was a Mike Tyson's Punch Out too, and that's what that was. He fought all these aliens and stuff like that. You
Oh, that's what they okay.
Really?
remember that? Yeah, go
I'm gonna
Google
take
that.
down
I'm
all
about
the
to say-
aliens. They ain't gonna see it coming.
Yeah, you know they gotta have some
Yeah.
kind of quirk to
It's a-
I
the
broke my
animation-
back.
The
This is
animation-
actually-
What kind of
Oh.
injury?
Oh my
Spinal.
god, that looks awesome.
Dude, this is definitely added on, man. Listen,
Oh, he's got two
Yeah.
by Atlanta. You see his hair
Yo.
move around after
Whoa.
he killed him?
Yeah.
Fatality.
That's enough gameplay because I can't. This is
I
great.
broke my back.
Before we get demonetized, but yeah, this is great.
Final.
Spinal.
and also besides
Fair Mike Tyson.
and besides the main game that I'm going to be talking about in a minute, also I got to talk about Liza P. I played maybe the first 20 minutes of Liza P.
Okay.
That's after they added the patch and all, because
Yeah.
it's one of those games that you got to throw down with your controller, but they made it a little bit more adjustable for players. You just get a lot of advice as far as the right kind of balance if you're going to have a heavy sword, balanced sword. But basically, it's your typical rogue type game. A lot of people compare it to Bloodborne. but it has its own
It's
identity.
it's Demon Souls-ish, yeah.
Right.
It's Dark
And
Souls.
but it's a spinoff. It's not spinoff. It's his own take on Pinocchio in the world of Bloodborne or a road game, and it's good graphic wise. Everything else, it's just one of those games that I highly recommend. Definitely take your time on. If you're a novice to road games, but you want to play a game that's beautifully as far as graphics and everything, it has the potential of going very far. They're making it more balanced for players that want to go in and play road games and all. I think the lightest road game that you can find out there right now is Star Wars Survivor. Survivor. That's like almost rogue, but this one is like a step up from the Star Wars games and all. So they try to make it a little bit more adjustable for players to play the game.
Right.
See, I thought Liza P was when you take a drug test for your employer and it comes out positive, even though you have not been smoking pot.
Lies of your pee. I hate you, man.
Smells like asparagus.
But I want to get to the main game that I had talked about earlier this year. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, I was one of the biggest supporters of this game. I was so disappointed, man. I bought it on, not only did I buy it on my PS5, but I also bought the Xbox version. And I was so, y'all could never let me live that down.
Right.
But Cyberpunk 2077,
of course,
2.0, and then right after that, Liberty City. Let me tell you right now, if anybody was going to make a comeback, this game is the comeback kid of 2023. I was very impressed with the game. Let's just straight off talk about the 2.0 patch. 2.0 patch comes out maybe a week before or a week and a half before Phantom Liberty. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was like playing an entirely different game. Where do I begin? I mean, from the setup, as far as setting up your character to getting your cyberware installed, they make it a lot more easier, a lot more understandable. Graphic wise, it's off the chain. The graphics are the way it was supposed to be, the way they were showing it and showcasing it throughout that whole couple of years and saying, hey, this is our Cyberpunk. This is the game that they were talking about. The stuff they put out before, I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, right.
But like
it's Mortal Kombat on the PlayStation 5 versus on the Switch. I gotcha.
Oh, it's even better than that. It's even better than that. They have a lot of more unlockables. They make it a lot more accessible, a lot easier to play than Phantom Liberty. If you ever wanted to be like if you ever wanted to see what it was like being James Bond in the world of Cyberpunk, this is the game. This is the chapter to play. You don't have to. You could basically they tell you to play maybe the first 2 chapters of when you first get into Cyberpunk, if you're just coming into it new, and then you can jump right over to Phantom Liberty. Basically, it opens up an extended world, not only with what you already have in the city, but you're expanding on that city. And I'm gonna tell you right now, between Keanu and Idris in the game, it's pretty much the bomb. It really. All
right, Smoke. I gotta ask you a question, man. I gotta ask you a question. So, in retrospect, what's the lesson learned here? What's the takeaway? Did the game need more time to bake to come out, or did customer feedback push them to make this a better game than it was ever intended to be?
I think it's a little bit of both. Because of the fact that first off, you went on the hype and you had everyone, you were selling everyone a bill of goods, telling the public that this is the game, the be all, the end all, the be all, and they should have waited another year. Look, let's give credit where credit's due. Starfield, despite everyone complaining, oh, we got to wait another 6 months to a year for Starfield to come out, and they kept pushing it back. When the game came out, it was, for all intents and purposes, not that many flaws, not that many problems with it. They should have done that with Cyberpunk.
Right.
Hey, everyone, let's be transparent. We don't want to give you guys a crappy game. We know we promised you on this date. We're going to give you the actual full game, even if it came out for right now. So we had to wait an additional 2 years between COVID and everything. We want to put out a quality type game for your enjoyment. This is what they should have waited for. Yes, they should have let us in the oven. And it was great that you gave, the gamers gave feedback. I think that's important because for any game, not just with Cyberpunk, but for any game, you want to hear what the fans have to say. like I'm like we're starting to creep into the world of testing games out for PTC. We're testing games out. I just recently got reached out to test out an upcoming game, which I will talk about in the upcoming episodes of PTC. But again, you know, it's important to give your feedback, to let them know, like, hey, don't put out this crappy game. It was like what you mentioned earlier, Siv, about you know, I think it was about MK1. You know you're about to put out a crappy game, or you're just going to let it go and just say, well, we'll fix it later. You know, when I think of Free Guy, I think of the movie Free Guy, and remember how it was kind of making fun of the industry and you know, how they were going to put out this game, and they were like, well, wait a second, you know, it's not going to be that, and they're not going to be doing all this stuff, and they were like, well, they'll put it out there anyway. They're going to buy it anyway. They expect the consumer to buy crappy games, and then depending on the popularity of that game, you know, you got enough people up in arms to a point where like, oh, our reputation is going to be bad. We got to so we'll just put out something, but we got our money already. We got all these people to buy the game. Again, that's what happened with Cyberpunk. A lot of people were like, really, including myself, highly upset. I mean, you're talking about someone who bought, like I said, 2 to 3 versions of the game, and to get what we got out of it, it was mediocre at best.
Yeah.
And again, we had to wait like 2.5 years for them to finally get it right. They need to learn their lesson and to say, okay, any kind of future projects they put out, CDR Red put out, hey man, let the game sit. Stop doing this overhype of a game. Like they're doing this with Star Wars. They're doing this with a couple different games. Stop hyping it. The only game I've seen, Monkey King game, where they've been just keeping us abreast how the game is going. They're not saying it's coming out next year. They're like, hey, you know, we were waiting for 3 years. The game is coming out next year. But they've been working on it. We've been following the journey. Don't just say, hey, we're going to put out this game on this date, and you know the game is not going to be ready. Like I said, Starfield was smart enough, even though a lot of people were upset about it. But hey, man, the people of Bethesda were smart enough to say, hey, we need to let this game cook a little bit more.
I think it was an important lesson that kind of needed to happen, and unfortunately, CD Projekt Red was the ones that had to bear the brunt of it. But I think it taught the video game industry that you really need to like put more effort into these games, especially if you're expecting the consumer to invest in a product that they're not even looking at yet. And I even had this discussion on my podcast with my buddy Joe, who has actually played both games. I said, do you think if they had waited to put out Cyberpunk till now and made it the game that it is now, would it be a solid contender against Starfield right now?
Look, I put out Starfield for a while just to go back and play Cyberpunk. So if that's saying anything, and I mean, and I said to myself, if the game wasn't good, I was going to stick with playing Starfield. I said, you know what? I'm gonna come back to Starfield and finish out playing out Cyberpunk.
Right. So now, real quick, because actually it goes in harmony with the chat, and the AJ writer actually want to ask you, would you say it's worth playing through the game again? You know?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's like you're playing an entirely new game.
Yeah.
You're playing a different game. Graphic wise and everything else, the way it's immersed, they basically stripped down everything that you played originally and they rebuilt it back up. They put components in there where if you were already playing, they reset everything. So it's not as far as your appearance, but as far as like, you know, setting up your cyber deck and everything else. But they made it easier for you to understand and be able to put the kind of build you want. And it's not limited restrictions. You just build up your perk points and your ability points and all. And then, like I said, again, it's just so many things that they did right. Coming back and making a comeback like this. This is what they should have done in the first place. The only drawback I have, and that's just a personal gripe of mine, the only drawback I have, they've done so much with the game and they already gave us a view. I wish they had a third person mode because personally, I'm a big fan of third person.
Same.
I'm all right with first person view, but if you're already showing the character in the bike or in the car, you're already showing them shooting and everything from that car, vehicle, or motorcycle in the third person mode, you should be able to have it in third person mode.
Right.
So I mean, but that's my personal, because a long time ago, Cyberpunk was supposed to be a third-person game.
Right.
At the last minute, I mean, if they needed to take a page out of Red Dead Redemption 2, where it gives you the option to play third person, first person, or whatever view you want to go with, they should give the gamer the option to play however they want, whatever they're feeling comfortable. Resident Evil came back and said, hey, Resident Evil 7, we're going to make it third person. We're going to make the other Resident Evil games third person, but you can also go in first person mode. So I think that moving forward, they need to start giving the customer the option, not just limit them and saying you only can do it in first person. Because people get turned off, and you get people to have cases of vertigo. People want to be able to sometimes play a game and have the option. But like I said again, you never know. Cyberpunk might turn around and say, we're going to put out a third person view. And then they're going to have more people buying the game again. So we got to wait and see.
I have an idea that would single-handedly fix the video gaming industry, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. And here it is. So we're talking about Mortal Kombat. We're talking about Cyberpunk, all this stuff. We're talking about the importance of customer feedback. We have all these outlets right now. We have, like Amazon and Metacritic and all these things, and Ranker, and you can review bomb things, you can bump things up and everything, but these are totally unregulated feedback portals, right? I mean, there's no way of even seeing if a person actually bought the freaking game. They just probably have something to say. If we want to take criticism from people who are verified purchasers of games and create something proactive and beneficial from it, here's what you do. I want to make a company or a third party, not a developer of software or games rather, but I want to make a portal that integrates with games and totally non-biased. At the 25-hour mark, you've been playing a game for 25 hours. You have an option through whatever console it is or PC. You are then prompted to answer maybe 5 quick questions on a scale of 1 to 5, graphics, scale of 1 to 5, audio, scale of 1 to 5, playability, performance, just real quick. No narrative responses, no overall, how do you rate this, but areas of potential improvement. But you have to play the game for 25 hours, and then maybe after that, you can opt into it. But it's baked into every single game. And that feedback not only would go to some website where it would be quantified in real time, but it would also send those metrics to the developer, the producer, and whoever owns the platform. So Bethesda and Sony and all these entities are getting that in real time. So if there is a major issue, whoever the devs are, they can fix things, they can take it under advisement, or they can just pat themselves on the back and be like, hey, we're getting perfect marks. Something so easy. We're in the age now where these companies have no qualms about force feeding us what we want to hear. It's the needle mythology of communication, where we're just injected with the message they want to send. But to get them to be more receptive and proactive, embed some kind of mechanism whereby these opinions can work to the advantage of building a better product.
Right.
And I swear
you can even incentivize it,
By the way,
give them something cosmetic or something for doing the
something
survey.
like something that wouldn't look like payola, but just for participating. Yeah, maybe build up some like reputation points or something, or an unlockable icon, or say, I'm with you on that.
You play points.
We are in a world of a billion opinions, and for us not to be to harness that energy and that passion, whether it be positive or negative. Hey man, negative feedback is what got Sonic, changed in the Sonic movie to something that everybody loved. They listen to people. If you're a responsible company, you're going to want to get that feedback. That's why, NetherRealm has a great reputation. They make top tier games, and Ed Boon is awesome and his team is awesome. NetherRealm's going to take care of their stuff. It's this is an embarrassment, but it's happened to Todd Howard, it's happened to Bethesda, it happened to Microsoft, happens to Sony, happens to Nintendo. To Nick's point about Pokemon, they dropped the ball on those games. Everybody feels the brunt. But a lot of times these deeper issues, they go completely unrecognized because the can just gets kicked down the road, and nobody takes the time to say, hey, we have a real problem. We got to address this. So I swear, and I'm glad I'm bringing this up and this is recorded because nobody can copyright this idea. It's mine. So I really do think I'm absolutely dead serious.
Trademark.
It would be super cool to have something where, if because Metacritic is BS, but it's because Metacritic never saw the problem coming. They were well intended. It's a cool platform, But people go on there to like bash games like, Last of Us 2 because I don't like the themes. It's a crappy game. Review bombing is dumb.
Yeah, review
Blowing
bombing is
It was
something
a fantastic game.
blowing something up and knocking something down based on arbitrary things that nobody cares. Just stupid.
And Sid, real quick, because that's why it's so important. When I took a keyword from what you said of your idea, you said to let the person play how many hours before?
25.
25.
You have to own it. You have to own the game. You have to own it. You have to have played it. There's a clock internally. We know that everything is date stamped now. You can see how long you've played a game. So it doesn't unlock after just a couple hours. You have to be vested in it. We want people's opinions who have qualified it, who've played a game for X number of hours.
Right.
And I don't think it's unrealistic or unfair to expect somebody who just spent $70 on a game to play it for 25 hours. I think that's the bare minimum.
Here's a perfect example.
95% of comments would disappear from all these things because how many of them are
and
actually
the
people who
remaining
even played
and
the thing?
the remaining comments and opinions would be valuable. They would be intrinsically valuable because you know that they're all pre-vetted.
So I want to take 2 minutes away from y'all time, right? Just because this is what we're talking about too, and show y'all this video. Y'all gonna hear this, man. It's funny as I don't know what. So again, this is going back to when Starfield was getting review bombed. You know what I'm saying? It was getting like a major review bomb. And this guy, he was had somebody online on this show, and asked him like his opinion on it, right? So the thing is, it's like again, like you said, that idea of having 25 hours to play. I want y'all to hear this. Matter of fact, wait. I want y'all to hear this because right here is the actual like legit reason, and here it is.
I haven't got that yet with Starfield, but I'm not far in it. But I want to say one thing, though. Mm-hmm. The game is, so far, based on word of mouth, reviews, it's a disappointment.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad game, but it is a disappointment considering.
I mean, how much have you played?
Like 3 hours.
Okay, and what's disappointing about it to you?
To me, it just doesn't get. First of all, I thought the intro was horrendous. I think the writing.
What about the intro? What about the intro was horrendous?
It just was very lackluster. Like if you compare it to Skyrim, immediately you're fighting a dragon, and then you're sent out into the world to do anything you want, like literally anything you want. Whereas this is a little bit, like I said, it's a little more shallow. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit almost more like Mass Effect, where it's more story oriented. It's pushing you in a certain direction.
Do you think that was the choices you made? What is her name? Lynn or Lim, the lady who's your boss? Do you think part of it is just the fact that she asked you to burn the bodies and shit, and it should be more of a choice versus she forces you to do it, and it's almost like it's scripted at that point?
That's some of it.
I mean, that didn't happen at all in the game, so I'm assuming you haven't played it yet, correct?
No, I swear to God, I played it, but it's
wow.
When you go to
yo, and that's it. That's it. That's how you explain to somebody, cuz.
Okay. I gotta tell you. So this is what I'm talking about. People that they are big fans of talking, but they're not fans of investigating. They're not fans of doing the homework, putting in the time, articulating their point. By the way, equating a bad game and then saying it's like Skyrim or it's like Mass Effect is the same as saying it's a great game. Yeah, like my thing is this. Listen, everybody's free to have your own opinion. I'm talking about taking it beyond the opinion aspect and creating a quality control mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's more than just saying, "Hey, this thing sucks." No, explain why. Like, okay, this is great. You have an opinion. Cool. Tell me why. Well, it just does. Oh my God.
It's not enough.
Like, it's just as bad as me saying, if I come on here and I just say, Tetris is the greatest video game ever made, and you ask me a follow-up question, say, why do you feel that way? And I go, it just is. That's also a very worthless opinion. It doesn't mean anything. It's lackluster. It's lazy. It's stupid. It may actually be right, but it's lazy. So do the heavy lifting, people. Think about how you can take an opinion and make it into something that's going to help out, right? you put in a lot of energy because people like to fight. Now, fighting is not what this is about. If you really do care about something, you will criticize it. I love Sony. I play more Sony games probably than any other platform. I also play the others, but Sony's kind of my go-to. But that gives me it bestows upon me the responsibility to be more critical of Sony than any of the others.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I want to, I'm always up Sony's butt about stuff all the
With
time.
great power.
Don't be a fanboy and don't be a hater. Be somebody who can, go out there and use an opinion for the forces of good. So that's why I think like my idea, I'm serious. I really think it would fix a lot of stuff.
You're right.
I really do.
That's why I kept it. I was like, you know what? That 25 hour would be great. That would be great.
25 hours
to have a legit opinion to go ahead and review it. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, majority of the games are like at least 19 hours or 20 hours, whatever, and all that too, depending on, how good the game, especially indie games like that as well. 25.
If you really want to be data driven, you could break it down. You could say, hey, most people after playing 25 hours said this, but those same people were repolled after 50 hours. They said this. After the first patch, they said this. You could track all that. Everything could be data driven. If you wanted to aggregate that data, you could really, really break something down. There were a lot of games. Look at No Man's Sky. When that came out, man, it really had problems. People after that were talking, as soon as they started to like take some time and tweak just a couple of things, people were talking about, oh, this is like game of the year now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally there were game of the year talks. I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people that were like, so that's why when Cyberpunk first came out, I put exactly 5 hours into it. And I expressed some opinions. I said, it's just rough. And I said, why? I said, it doesn't feel like it's finished. And I literally said right here on the show, I said, I'm going to wait a good, probably 2 years before I even formulate an opinion on this, because it's not a finished product yet, so table it right now. Here we are. And that's why I asked Smoke. I was like, okay, so where are we with this thing? And now it's like exactly what you want to hear. It's everything it's supposed to be. Now, how did we get to this point? Because people bashed the hell out of it. Yeah. That's what made it happen.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, that was a great issue to bring up as well too. I mean, people stop review bombing.
Like you said, it's a combination of both bashing and also the fact that they rushed the game. They were trying so hard to please the masses, and they're trying to make their numbers and their quotas. Especially during the time right after COVID. We got to make some money off of this. They should have waited. I think if it wasn't for COVID, they might have just pushed it back. The smartest thing to do, like let's say hypothetically, we are looking forward to seeing Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if tomorrow they turned around and found a flaw where they're like, "Holy crap, we got, it got
they ungold it.
It got hacked, and we don't know if we should." Would you guys have mind that they pushed it back?
Of course.
Would you wanted them to put out a shitty ass game and had everyone immersed in?
No, I want what they're advertising. A completed experience.
I've never once complained about a game being late. Never once complained about a movie being put out late. I've never complained once. Never.
It's generational.
Ever,
I feel like younger, let's say younger kids these days, man, want it now. For us, it's like, I don't mind. Make that perfect. Seriously, because listen. I got
they'll be the same kids. They'll be the same kids that are putting out hate mail and death threats and stuff because the game didn't come out. It's a generational thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said again, it's to me, it was worth. They should have. I hope, like you said, Rob, lesson learned. I hope they learn from it, and they need to make sure they don't F up next time.
Yeah, exactly. Fail. Good.
Yeah, you'd think that they would have learned their lesson when No Man's Sky really dropped.
How
the ball,
about that? I was just about to say. Yeah, because trust me, I'm a day one of No Man's Sky, man.
It's one thing.
Me too. I wanted to enjoy it, and it was just like, oh, I guess I get to shoot rocks with lasers, and that's the whole game.
Yeah, that was done.
I think the thing is too, we grade on a curve sometimes based on the ambition of the game. Because look, if you look at Cyberpunk, extremely ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Starfield, and you look at No Man's Sky, very ambitious games. When you look at another Mortal Kombat, come on, man, you guys have been doing, player versus player one-on-one fighters for like 30 years, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You've done this before. Why? What's up with this? So it's okay. We'll give it a break, but yeah, man. So somebody mentioned Sea of Thieves. Do we have something to talk about Sea of Thieves? I think we had something to talk about Sea of Thieves.
Because Rob is always looking for that booty.
It's true, and chests.
So I
So I love you having
Wow.
you on, man. Oh my god.
I hear there's some Sea of Thieves related news, is there not?
Yeah, they got a single player mode now.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent, I would say, to like when they made GTA 5 lobbies that you can have where there's nobody else around.
But
I'm
Those
not
are
sure if
great.
they're gonna limit you as to some missions that you can't do. Now I'm not sure, I didn't read into this, but are you allowed to go into this solo session with friends, or is it solely by
I
yourself?
think it's solely by yourself. Well, no, I think you can go with other people that are probably solo. It's like just a one-on-one battle, you know.
Like, can you do like voyages
story mode
with
means-
like
yeah.
with like say
I think it's like a
the
campaign
the
or
vaults
like
that you go after and stuff like that?
Yeah,
A vault is not something that you can do by yourself. You can find all the pieces of the map by yourself. You can get to the vault, but for the amount of time that they give you to loot that vault, you're not going to be able to get all the chests by yourself.
Remember too,
and
Rob.
sailing
that,
by yourself isn't fun.
well,
Like,
no, because a lot of people actually do. You can actually sail.
They made
by
it very
yourself
easy now.
if you want to. Like we're getting a little what was it a frigate, whatever.
you
a
know,
little,
it's.
and
I feel like part of the fun of the game is playing with everybody. That's why I like playing
yeah.
it. But
But
you know,
if you want to do it by yourself and see how good you are, your skill.
you
check,
can do it all by
when
yourself.
you own a ship and you fly an emissary, you can actually go to this different dock on every one of the outpost islands that has one of those hook shot things, and you can
Yeah,
actually
the whole
just
system.
pull it straight off your ship and sell to this one vendor,
Mhm.
and you don't have to go to the individual vendors anymore. Like, say you have cursed skulls and chests and crates of like spices and stuff.
Booty.
You used to have to go to the different people to sell that stuff, but you can all sell it to one guy now.
Yeah, right, yeah. So I mean,
So they have made it like doable by yourself. I mean, me and Nux were playing that game back in 2020 when they didn't have any of that stuff before the Pirates of the Caribbean and all that, and it was a
that
tough
was
game.
fun. Yeah.
You remember that time the Megalodon glitched and we were able to take it down because it got stuck?
I was happy about it. Like, let me get my first kill, man.
That's how we
good.
got that achievement.
That was great. I was like, never again.
What?
We probably take it
That's not
down,
fair.
man. But that was great, man. Seriously.
Me, you, Beck, and Aaron. Yeah,
Yep.
we used to have a good time.
Yeah, I remember, man.
Do you
Sheesh.
ever feel like the least bit guilty when a game glitches? and
Nope.
You
Nope.
pop like a really rare
Nope.
trophy. I know there are
I
times with
earned
me.
it.
I just kind of do that meme where it's like I look back and I look forward. And I'm like, okay, it's good, it's done, we're done. I'm not
I
gonna
get
say
a devilish
word.
amount of glee out of it. It's like, yes,
It says do the thing, not how to do it.
That's right, exactly.
Right, exactly. Facts. You know,
I'm a pirate. You think I'm going to play by the rules? You
Right,
kidding?
right.
Nah, I'm stealing that shit.
I'm after the One Piece.
You gonna be king of the pirates?
Senshiwaridana,
Oh my
Mugiwara.
Oh my god.
Did you guys watch that live action?
Yeah, I started
Yeah,
watching.
I
Not
have
yet.
It's
It's pretty
Oh,
good.
it's fantastic.
pretty good. Yep.
I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
They definitely
I
make
heard
it
it's
like
got the
an
heart.
abridged version, but it's it's got to be. Nobody's gonna watch 1,000 episodes. Of all
What,
that.
Yeah,
what,
live,
what's,
they'll watch
upset, what's upsetting to me is the same people who did the Cowboy Bebop live
Yep.
action,
Yep.
and that's what's upsetting to me. Not that One Piece isn't good. One Piece season 1 live action is great. This is what they should have done with freaking Cowboy Bebop. They were close to finishing that up, and then don't even get.
They
me
just
started.
couldn't commit.
Was that?
I feel like they just couldn't commit.
They weren't going to commit. It was like you're on that date and you're about to go to the next base, and then all of a sudden, look at the time. I gotta.
Oh, look at the time.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I was so, as someone who's an avid fan of Cowboy Bebop, yeah. But they got One Piece right, thank God, because
Yeah.
Netflix would have never heard the end of it if they didn't do it right.
Nope.
Actually, go on the lines with that, man. I don't know if anybody's caught the Netflix animation drops as well too, but I know we was talking about Castlevania.
Well, Castlevania, yeah.
Castlevania is great.
Devil May
And
Cry.
you got
Lara
Captain
Croft.
Laserhawk coming out and all. So
Yeah, yep.
Ubisoft, yeah.
Scott Pilgrim looks good too,
Scott
man.
Pilgrim, yep.
I'm glad they got
All these
everybody.
good
Looks really
shows.
good.
I have a question. We didn't talk about this during the last show, did we? But
No, we
the
did
other
not.
one
Let's
that,
elaborate
the,
on that.
the other one that dropped was Twisted Metal, which I thought was incredibly
Yes.
well done.
Yeah. Okay.
Incredibly well done. Oh wow,
Rob,
Rob, not a
Rob,
fan.
Rob.
I kind of see.
Well, I actually never played any of the Twisted Metal games. I was
Oh,
never
wow.
a racing
Oh, wow.
game fan because
Wow.
I always crash and shit. Like I don't know something. I'm a good driver in real life. When it comes to video games, don't put me on Rainbow Road.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, man, did you see?
I'll fall right off the Bifrost.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Rob, did you see the Gran Turismo movie? Cause I love Gran Turismo, man. So Gran Turismo.
Oh,
Was
you know, I didn't go see it, but for a specific reason. I saw like 4 movies over the summer, and every time I had to watch that long ass infomercial. With
They had a trailer
weird ass
for
looking
the trailer
kid that's
for
just
the
like
fucking movie.
standing
so
there
annoying.
like this, and I'm like, I don't want to see this movie just because I'm tired of watching this kid puke on fucking David Harbour's lawn, and I was never a racing fan. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel
So
you.
here's
the
a
cars
here's a
and
fun.
stuff.
5 minutes dedicated to Gran Turismo before you watch.
I used
like,
to have to get
Transformers or
like
something. It was so annoying.
like when we used to play with Bunny. She used to beg me to play Mario Kart, and I only got that for her. But like, man, I haven't touched it since.
So the Gran Turismo tournament that is featured in the movie, that talent scouting initiative they did.
Yeah.
Here's a little known fact. So I actually made it to the second round of that
Really?
that vetting process. I did, yeah.
Who plays you in
So-
the movie?
I'm not. No, you had to be I think they're semifinalists and up in the movie that are portrayed, and I was like what I call like a quarterfinals. I think it's been a couple of years, but I made it pretty far. Because I mean I don't know if you could tell, like I'm a little bit into the whole driving thing. This is my ta-da. You can kind of see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I've always loved Gran Turismo. I made it pretty far, but I'll tell you what, man, it gets so incredibly difficult, and there was a bit of travel that was involved there, you know, the farther you got. And I just couldn't. I mean, look, that's not what held me back. What held me back is because I just got beaten by people that were incredibly awesome at it.
Yep.
So it was like as good as you could ever do. There are people that are so scientific about that game, and like, I mean, they're like hardcore drivers. So I was like, yeah, I made it as far as I could, but it was fun. So it's neat to watch. It's cool to see the movie, and they
got so far.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's a little more dramatic. You know, they put in some stuff there that, you know, but it's based on that event, and I was part of it. It was really cool.
That's
It's
dope,
fun.
man. I like
Yeah.
I guess you could say they ran
man.
circles around.
They did.
Hey, pump the brakes there, Rob. Hey,
Yeah.
Like telling people, man. Like I said, if you haven't seen the Netflix drops, man, everything looks good.
Yeah.
I know, Smoke's gonna be mad at me. Everything's good except for Master of the Universe. He man looks suckish, man. I don't care. But
Oh, stop that!
so-
Wait, there's a
Yeah,
live action?
wait. Did you haven't even watched the
the
new-
trailer looks suckish, dude.
Oh, stop! It's
It
not
looks-
even
it's-
a trailer. It's a doggone a couple minutes of it.
It looks horrible.
It's a clip.
Dude.
I
You
didn't
know what?
see
I
this.
expect that,
When
I
did
expect that
this
from your
get dropped?
generation. I expect that from your generation. Why am I not?
Wait a minute. Is there another new one?
It's
Like
Master
the
of the
Kevin
Universe
Smith?
I think it's like the
Revolution.
next season.
Revolution.
Yeah,
is coming
Revolution.
out.
Don't
Yeah.
look,
Cartoon?
Look at the trailer and
Yeah.
Look at the
The
trailer.
trailer, you know.
Well, look at
Wait,
yeah.
the one
Tony
made
Todd-
by
Tony
Kevin
Todd,
Smith.
Tony Todd is in this clip as Scareglow, and it's a great clip. It's a great clip.
Yeah, look
And
at
I
the
thought,
trailer just for yourself. And that's why I was like, I gotta get spoiled. I was like, man, this don't look mad.
So wait, just to be clear, this
I
is
don't
the
know. I
Kevin
watched
Smith
season 1.
cartoon.
It was all right.
Yeah. You want
Kevin Smith.
do we? You know what? We got time. Let's go. I'll put on.
Come on, I mean, man.
Yeah, I'll put on. It's about a.
I mean,
it's
shit.
about-
I got his sword and shield on my wall right over
yeah,
there.
it's a buck 40. It's
Nice.
a buck 40 minutes.
Yeah, we
anyway.
talk about Netflix. Man,
Let's
wasn't
go, let's
everybody
see
mad
it.
at Netflix like a month ago.
Oh, wait, I gotta put on the sound for y'all, man. Yeah, let me do that real quick. But yeah,
hear
it's but it's here we show. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Here we go. Here it is. All right.
Hulkbuster Man at Arms.
Iron Man,
Well done, Adam. That's my boy.
Crystal.
Usurpers, you will all become part of my collection.
Oh, he's like Joker from the end of Arkham Asylum.
Basically.
wrong with this? This is great.
This was not in the first season of the show anywhere.
Damn. By the power of grace.
Yo, Mark, are you smoking crack?
No,
that looks phenomenal, dude.
Man, I don't know.
looks
This was
fantastic.
not in the
It's
first
me.
season.
Listen,
That
I'm
one was
You gotta
not
saying,
understand.
all I'm
gotta
saying,
understand.
No.
The two people that are answering negatively, look at who we're talking about. We're talking about Nick and Mark. They're the youngest ones in the group. So why are you not
I
surprised?
watched the entire first season of that show. He-Man was not in it at all. Listen, here's what
okay,
happened. Everyone
no,
complained.
you're wrong.
So
He
you
was
can
in
everything
it.
else we talked about.
You can understand, Nick. It was not just about He-Man. That's why they call it.
It's
Masters.
yeah.
Stop. It was called Masters of the Universe, not He-Man in the Masters Universe. Masters of the Universe. So they were going to focus around. Season 2 is picking up, and they're leading off where He-Man now is the sole main focal point. But
It's another case of the
You're part of
fans
that
complaining.
you're part of that hater group that
I'm not a hater. I watched the first season. I didn't like it for the reasons I didn't like it.
Mark's just hating on
Jeez,
it.
I watched the Power Rangers 30th anniversary season, which was dog shit, and I loved it. Like, what do you want from me?
All I can say is, man, it was kind of sucky.
All I can say is, I remember they had a little ranking. I had to put He-Man last, man. The top right now is Blue Eye Samurai. Blue Eye Samurai for me is Blue Eye Samurai was best. Man.
So Blue Eye Samurai was good. Yeah,
Blue Eye Samurai was great,
good.
cuz
Yeah. No, but Pluto's going to be the bomb.
Pluto's, oh, dude,
Pluto,
yeah.
Pluto. Now, see, again, people are sleeping on that because they don't know what Pluto's about. If you never read the Magma,
Planet.
trust me.
Yo, facts. That joint looks great. I can't
Liquid
wait.
hot magma.
About Astro Boy, it's
Magma.
I can't wait, man.
Liquid hot magma.
Talking about video game movies, man. How about our kitty Stray, man, getting the video game to movie adaptation,
God,
man, and the
so
Predator
dumb.
doing this thing. What you mean it's dumb, cuz?
That was a great game.
That was
I
a
enjoyed-
good game, cuz.
All right, but like, it's a cat. Who cares? Like, cats.
All
are
right, no,
great, but,
stop,
like,
stop,
like,
stop.
you just freak out about it.
No, wait.
Hold
No,
on.
No, you can't talk
No,
shit
I
about
didn't
cats.
I want to
play
ask
it.
a question. I have a very important
I
question.
didn't play it. I did.
Then we can move on to another freaking topic. Because
That's
guess
fine.
what?
He didn't play it.
Hey,
and
Brian,
You
his
have
opinion
no
don't
basis
matter.
for an
Hey,
opinion.
Brian. Yeah, you know why? Because no one asked me what I've been playing. It's cool. I'm not mad. Let's move on.
Well, which Spider-Man game are you playing, Nick?
Well, I'm going to be playing this one because I
Thank
like
you.
to announce that I
Surprise.
have it cut me out. There it is.
You finally got a
I
PS5.
picked-
Oh,
I picked this up. I picked this up a couple hours ago today. I'm
Nice.
really
Yeah,
excited.
you cow. Welcome
Yeah,
to the
you
phone.
know.
I'm proud.
Well,
of
no, I got the Series X, and then it wasn't like I, couldn't find one. I was just like, all right, Spider-Man's finally coming out. I have a reason to get this. Also, I'm getting a free game. I did the math. I was like, if I buy this version of Miles, it comes with the other Spider-Man game, and then I can get God of War for free because I bought the PS5. I'm like,
Hey, did
I
you play?
get it.
Did you play it already on PS4, and now you're just getting
Yeah,
the PS5 version?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've beaten both of these. I'm going to beat
Nice.
them both. Actually, my girlfriend Tori and I, she saw the trailer for the first one, thought it was really cool. So I'm going to make her watch me play this because it's such a good story. So then I could play Spider-Man 2, which comes out later this month.
And fun fact: if you got the platinum on PS4, it automatically gives you the platinum on PS5.
I'm going to do it all again anyway. I did that thing in a
Cross
weekend.
save.
Same with Miles. I did it
That's,
all in
that's
a
a good
weekend.
innovation too, man. Cross plat, dude. Yeah, shoot, I'll take that.
Excelsior.
Heartbeat, man. Seriously. But yeah, man, listen, straight, cuz that's gonna be the best movie ever, man. Oscar-winning movie. Let's go, man. You know what I mean? Come on, who doesn't want Stray? I love Stray, man. That's gonna be great.
All right, PTC,
It's
go to the
gonna
movies.
be
We'll see
it's
Stray
gonna
in
be
theaters.
fine. It's gonna be fine, but I really hope that they do it right and don't make the cat talk.
Don't right, facts.
Please,
Facts.
please don't do anything dumb.
Unless the
like-
cat's voiced by Danny DeVito.
Or Ryan Reynolds.
Okay,
or
okay.
Chris Pratt. Ryan
Chris
Reynolds,
Pratt doing.
Chris Pratt.
Hey, I'm Chris Pratt. This is me as a cat.
I'm
meow,
Chris
meow.
Cat. I'm Chris Cat.
Cat. Hey, no, wait a minute. We gotta leave Chris alone. We gotta leave Chris alone. He did do a good job in the Mario.
He did. I'll give
I
you
really
that.
liked
He
it.
did.
I thought he did a fine job.
Yeah.
And this is why you wait until the product comes out before formulating
Yeah,
said
facts.
opinion.
Yeah.
We all piled on Chris because he's a little bit of a weirdo in his personal life. But we're all like, Chris
Yeah.
Pratt, he's not Mario. And then he came out and actually did a really cool job. So congrats to Chris. He did. And everybody was down on Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, but I thought he was. I thought it was a bad
Okay.
choice to make Donkey Kong talk.
Speaking
But
of Seth Rogen, because he's been on a roll, what was your feedback on TMT. Or
Loved
Teenage
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't
Loved
watched it.
it.
It's on my
I see
list.
it.
I'm gonna watch it on
Freaking
stream.
phenomenal, man.
I can't wait.
Phenomenal. Listen, that hit home. Oh my god.
Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me get a bacon, egg, and crack me up.
Cuz, man, listen, I'm about to watch
And they
that
really
show.
captured like the new generation, so like
The
it's fresh for
teens,
for
yeah.
a new group of kids, you know.
Yeah.
Here's a
Which
question.
like gives it the hope for, that it's going to continue.
Can you
buddy-
remember an
Uh-huh.
art? Can
21st
anybody
of September?
name? Can anybody name an IP that has gone through more machinations style wise and art style wise than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Batman.
Oh,
Batman's
that's a
up
good.
there.
Yeah, that's true.
Spider-Man too. That works. Yeah.
But has
Yeah.
Batman always had a cartoon no matter what?
Yeah.
Or have
Yeah.
there been
Well,
gaps between
No,
shows?
Spider-Man had more. Spider-Man had more.
Did Batman have a rock and roll show?
Yeah.
Batman, Brave and the Bold. If you
Well,
there've been a couple.
You remember the
episodes-
Turtles when they had them playing live, like on that
Mhm.
tour? You remember that?
Yeah,
Oh God. Yeah,
because
Turtles Live. Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say even the Sonic,
Stay your
Sonic
prayers,
franchise, man,
Toidles.
that's done through that as well too, man, for sure. You know,
There have been a few, but
Yeah.
I mean, like every time you see a reboot of the Ninja Turtles or any, not even reboot, any other version, like the comics look different from each other, which is okay. You know, I mean, that's not completely uncommon, but all the
Yeah.
video games look
Well,
different in their art
they
style.
kinda
All the
established-
cartoons look different in their art style. It's
Well,
amazing.
they-
All the
they-
movies.
They established it with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Forever, where they did the whole thing with the multiverse.
The
This is-
multiverse. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
did
they showed
fantastic with that.
Yeah, they showed the live action. They showed the comic book version. They showed all the different.
All right.
iterations
Yeah,
of-
I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm just
Yeah, no,
curious
it
'cause
was good.
One
It was
one
really
thing I
good.
do think, and this kind of goes back. One thing we didn't talk about Mortal Kombat 1 is this rebooting of universes and using this multiverse thing that's going on. Like I understand
man.
it. It's cool. It's interesting. I think it's at its time. Can we make a moratorium on this trope though? I think it's played to death now. Can we just
Yeah, but you have to think about it. Like if
Man,
you go through
guys.
the annals of time, there's always been like a focal like theme that every movie comes out with. Like there was
Oh, yeah.
vampires and there was zombies and then
natural
multiverse is
disaster
just the latest
movies,
thing in
yeah.
a long list of everybody's on this kick
AI.
because one movie was successful, so everybody else
Yeah.
has got to steal that idea for the next 2 to 3 years,
Look, Marvel,
and then
Marvel
it'll go
and
on to the next thing.
Marvel and DC did that with their version of Walking Dead with Deceased
And Marvel Zombies.
Marvel Zombies. Yep.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so, and I mean, and it's still going. Hell, they're about to put out an animated movie.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, right?
No. They're putting out an animated movie on Marvel Zombies. They're going to do it.
Oh yeah, they're so it was that
Yeah.
episode. What if they're making a whole?
Yeah, what if?
I mean, I
Yes,
think
yeah.
it's fine, but with any trope, it starts to like devalue itself over time with repetitive use. And I
Absolutely.
think we're at the
You have
point now,
bad
like,
writers,
okay,
right.
yeah, and
Yeah,
not only
you have
that,
bad
okay, you
writers.
have to use it. You have to use it tentatively and purposefully because if you overuse it, guess what happens? You've retconned your bad writing so much, or even your good writing so much. You retconned it to death, and now everything you did previously is now meaningless.
Mhm.
And that scares me. I'm like, okay, Mortal
It's
Kombat.
so-
They already did one reset before. Now they're doing another one.
The
And
only
it's like I
franchise-
want to be like, okay, that's it. That's all you get. Okay,
Only
like wrap it
current-
up then.
The only current franchise that has not done it, and they're doing the workaround and all by telling alternate stories, is Star Wars.
Yep.
Have not done multiverse.
We'll
or
see.
anything.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah,
write
right.
Ray
They
off
did-
already?
they-
Damn it!
They did
But
do the
time
thing with the worlds-
travel's never been an element of Star Wars, I don't think, and that
Well,
I
no,
think
they
plays
did-
into the
they did do
multiverse
an element
thing.
thing called the World Between Worlds.
Shut up, Nick. That doesn't count.
But they
know what you're
no,
thinking.
he's explaining it. They do
No,
it.
the
in
World Between Worlds happened
Yeah.
in the
Rebels, and
Rebels
Ahsoka,
cartoon show,
It's
and
Yeah,
that's
so
considered
really
there's
great.
canon.
not so much a multiverse. It's like basically a thing with time.
a
They only
space
touched
and
it,
time.
Right. They only touched it once or twice.
Yeah.
But Star Wars, basically, knock on wood, is the only so far franchise that has not done a multiverse or like, if anything, they've told other tales with
Galaxy, intergalactic.
Galaxies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Star Wars Visions, seasons
Like the
1 and
Beastie
2,
Boys.
and
they're
like
like-
you have, like I said, so
Bacon, egg,
you do have that, or they doing the different shows and all. So that's the only franchise, like I said. Star Trek has done it already. Oh yeah, and Orville hasn't done it.
Oh
either.
God, Star Trek is they're
I-
the ones I think that invented it practically. I mean,
This is what I'll say real quick on this. So what I feel what Marvel is doing, and especially DC did with the Flash, is it's not because it's for the story. It's for the nostalgia of it, in the hopes that instead of actually doing something interesting with it. People just want to see this thing again. I want to give a good example of a story that does this right. So this is the comic book for the Shatter Grid. If anyone's ever read the Power Rangers comics, they're amazing. They're so awesome. It's great. And hey, I mean, the 30th anniversary just dropped on Netflix. New season of Power Rangers. NSYNC has a new song. Mortal Kombat 1. What year is it? Who knows?
Year is it?
Yeah, but this storyline, it's great. It deals with bringing every season together of a franchise that's been on for so long, and it does it for this story. Yes, it's to see all these characters come together, but it's in service to what actually happens in it. Yes, if you look at something like No Way Home, it's like, all right, they came together, but like, if you look into the wording, and then like obviously Across the Spider-Verse has done stuff to work on this, like, you know, retcon things, Morbius, whatever, like it feels like they're just kind of doing it by the seat of their pants in some way, like just seeing what no pun intended, what sticks, right? But in this, in my opinion, like a story that was done with the intention of being multiversal in scale for the story, not just for the fan service of it in the hopes to make a buck. If you haven't read these, read these. They're amazing.
We need 5 realities with attitude.
Other than Mortal Kombat, what other games is out there that has done the multiverse?
Multiverses, Nicktoons Unite. Those games way back when were really good.
We're talking about video games.
Disney Infinity.
Nicktoons Unite was a crossover game that they used to have where it's not the fighting game that just came out. It was a story where whatever happens, they all come together. You can play as all the different characters. It's a 4-person whatever. They were okay. They were made for kids, but that's actually a good example. The story was bringing them together, but they did something interesting with it.
Right.
You know, if you don't do it in
Infinity that did that, there was
Marvel and DC have crossed over in the comics 1,000 times, stuff like that. Like, you know, like obviously we want the crossover, but we want it to be for the story, not just because you want to make money off of it. You know,
I'm talking about multiverse. Now you got to also take into account too. DC and Marvel both, before the trope became a big thing, Crisis of Infinite Earths was done back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Secret Wars.
You know, George Perez, who's a personal friend, basically he worked on that Marvel versus DC thing for years, and to finally get it out and be able to have that out there to the masses, that was a major move. But by that time, things started already coming to a head. So that's what I said. When it comes to comic books, you just have to have good writers. Just like with video games, you have to have good writers to be able to tell a story. Doesn't matter what kind of genre you're dealing with. Doesn't matter what kind of trope. If you have a good story, it can go a long way. The new movie that just came out on Hulu, No One Can Save You. It's basically totally different, totally new, but it's good writing. It's some of the things have been done before, but it's done in a different way because the writing is good. Same with the movie The Creator. Creator is another good movie that just came out, good writing, and certain tropes, yeah, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what they did, but you're telling a good story because you're you're taking the time to write the story out to make you feel for these characters and all. So if you could have a great multiverse movie or series, but you got to be able to tell if in the realm of good writing. Same with video games. You know, one of the reasons why Spider-Man and Miles Morales' stories work in the video game and why everyone is so excited about it is because the writing is on point. It's like you're watching a movie. With Mortal Kombat, as much as I love it, yeah, that kind of whole thing with it's been done before with the whole multiverse thing. I'm like, okay, let's wrap that up. Okay, because this has been done already. We've kind of been there already before. Even though Johnny Cage was the MVP on that for this Mortal Kombat 1 game, but nonetheless,
dude, his dialogue is so good in that game. I love his dialogue. It's so good.
Something I just thought of, like,
get away from her.
I feel like
that was the line of the year. That was the dialogue line of the year.
Get away
right there.
from her.
Like the movie with the big alien guy. Come on, you guys don't remember? I
Or
love
the fact that he's dressed like Indiana Jones in the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
Like,
that whole the story mode in Mortal Kombat. We're gonna keep going back to Mortal Kombat 1. This was the best. This was the best story mode ever.
Yeah, I like the mime Johnny Cage, man.
Yeah, it's good.
5 hours and 23 minutes. In one stream, I played the entirety of the story mode.
Nice.
It's cool. It's good.
In one sitting, I was like, well, I got up to pee a couple times, but it's like, damn, I one stream. I didn't think I was gonna finish.
To fight anybody in
but
the
then
back.
I was like, I want to keep going. I want to keep going, and before I knew it, the damn thing was finished. You know. But what I thought was fun though is at the end of that game, some of those combo characters that you fight. they're all like randomly generated. So each time you play the game,
Yeah.
you get a different experience, and everybody gets this different experiences from each other.
So one thing I do want to throw out there, because it's been talked about, and we haven't really talked about it. What do you think about the video game industry going on strike if they don't reach an agreement next week?
So here's the thing: they have to, because you got to think about it, man. I'm with them. You know what I mean? It's to the point where we should have talked about. I think we did talk about this with Phil Lamar last time. I believe we did.
I don't know how much we got into it, because it was mainly we couldn't talk about certain things, and someone who's SAG eligible, I already know, but with the video game, it really hit close to home, because now they're like, the video game industry is now getting affected.
Yeah. Think about Chris. I was trying to research on how much Chris got from doing Kratos' voice, and how much he ain't getting the residuals for sure. You know what I mean? But you got to look at the sales of the new God of War. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, you like, I understand, like, people get pissed off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
it's also like the fact that now this is like people are taking it seriously. Like we've had this conversation so many times about how, like, the more people like realize how big of an industry this is, like the more afraid of it they get, and the more things, change for the better. In this case, like people, these people who take time and effort and work and let their likeness be used, and people get to have to see their face in this game over and over, like they deserve to be
And
paid
you have to look at the
appropriately
grand
for it.
scaleness of these games now. Video games are almost like movies you can interact with, as opposed to like just a Super Mario Brothers where it's a guy hopping over blocks and stuff. Video games are a whole different beast than they were.
You spend more time with
in their
these characters
first
than
inception.
if you watch a movie or a show. Sometimes you play a game for 25 hours, or you watch a show for 8 hours.
And statistically now, man, like the video game industry is multi-billion. It's more than movies. It's more than music. I mean, it's getting higher. You know what I'm saying?
Combined. To Mark's
yeah.
point, if you add up every other media, commercial media, outlet or whatever,
Right.
the music industry, the movie industry, TV, books, all of them, take them all, they don't add up to the video game industry. So it's the number one it's the number one entertainment method, I guess, revenue generating in the world. So for them not to support writers and actors the way that others should also, I mean, let's put it this way, and we'll preface this entire conversation by saying that over 96% of members of SAG who are eligible, or actors who are current SAG-AFTRA members, they live below the poverty level, which I think right now is less than $60,000 per year. I think is what they consider almost poverty level. That's the average, or no, I'm sorry, that's the ceiling for 96% of members. So when you say about starving artists and actors, that's exactly what is happening. Most of these people make nothing. They make nothing. And if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, writers make even less. Writers, and I say this because I'm a writer by trade. This is what I do, and I'm fortunate in what I do. I feel like I'm well compensated, but many are not, and it's unfortunate. They put in just about as much work as I do, if not more. They put in just about as much quality, if not more, than I do. So I'm all about them being fairly represented and ultimately financed for what they do. So you're asking a question, do I support them? Hell yeah. Across the board, unequivocally.
Absolutely.
And it needs to start now, and there needs to be a line in the sand, because when they did that hologram of Tupac at that one award show, that set a precedent. They used that guy's image without anybody getting compensated for it. That was a bad thing. The rise of AI right now, it's a bad thing. When you see like a lot of this stuff being used with impunity and people getting poor back end deals and zero residuals, the fact that Aaron Paul doesn't make any kind of residuals for them for Netflix re-airing and having the rights for Breaking Bad, for him not to get anything for that, and for them to make bank on possibly what was considered the greatest show ever televised in the history of TV, he makes no money for that. Are you kidding me? So video games, it's even worse. Because oftentimes we don't associate the face we see with the face with who's behind it. But it was an eye opener for me when we interviewed the cast of Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Because they were very adamant about, hey, we're not voice actors, we're actors. And it really it set something off in me. And now, ever since then, I've made a conscious point, whenever we've interviewed anybody who does voice work, we always introduce them and refer to them as actors. They're actors, not different type, no voice actor. You're not. There's no such thing almost like as a voice actor. You're an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can't be a voice actor if you don't know how to act. You know,
Yeah.
it's what a lot of people don't realize. Like
Rob is an actor. Smoke is an actor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you do voice work. Voice work is a real thing. You know, voice acting is a real thing. But you are an actor. Your title is not. There's no differentiation there. So I really, you know, I was
Well, the
very
fact that
cognizant of
they
that.
were going at one point going to use our likeness. Like, let's say I just did a TV show recently, and the thing is that, you know, if I had signed off them saying, okay, yeah, you can use my likeness and everything, and not get any residual for it, that means that particular company can use your likeness for whatever movie, background, whatever, for the rest of your life, and not make any kind of compensation for it. That's messed up. So yeah, I've been supporting SAG and the Writers Guild from day one and everything else. I'm glad, and congratulations to the Writers Guild for reaching an agreement and being able to finally, after 5 months, be able to finally be done with the strike. We're hoping that next week SAG will come to an agreement as well, keeping our fingers crossed, because again, for Rob and myself, hey, we would love to get more work, and it's just a matter of now we just got to play the waiting game, So definitely support SAG out there. For those who are watching, we definitely support SAG all the way through, and all the guests that have been on our show, we already know what their stance is as far as like the ones who have been actors in video games and on TV. So we definitely support them.
Absolutely. Well said, man. Well said.
Yep. I even came out of Grinds My Gears retirement for that.
Yeah. Yeah, people, make sure you check out Rob's YouTube for sure. We'll definitely get you put out your socials as well later on. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this show. Listen, before we go, I'd like to take Siv's idea and put out PTC's Game of the Night, man. Game of the Night, man. I know everybody's we're gonna do this for sure. But PTC's
we're
Game
doing
of the
that
Night.
from now on?
Yeah,
new segment?
New segment, PTC Game of the Night. Real quick, PTC Game of the Night, and we gotta do this, man. PTC's Game of the Night is absolutely Party Animals, man. Make sure you get Party Animals.
Yes!
Party Animals is amazing.
Oh my god.
It's so
I freaking love this game.
So much fun, dude. You get to play any party. It's like Gang Beasts and all that too.
Yes.
It's great for party stuff. It is so amazing. You'll love it, dude.
I was cracking.
Oh my god, it's so much fun, man. It's
like
just,
Fall Guys-esque, I guess.
Basically.
Oh my god, I love this game.
It's amazing. So that is PTC's end of the show. Game of the Night, man. Is Party Animals. Make sure you grab that. It's on Xbox.
We gotta play this sometime. We gotta stream this or something.
We have to.
Sometime.
It is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, yo. Easy to play, but it's chaotic, man. It's so funny, dude. You cannot, end a session without laughing, dude. It's so much fun, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It is so much fun.
Yeah. Even Flatfall and
Whoa, this is so freaking trippy. Look at first of all, let's analyze these graphics. Anybody looking at that wave effect in the background?
It's
that looks
beautiful,
amazing.
Right? It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
It's like real water.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's beautiful, dude.
That is such a weird.
Oh my god, they're all there.
Juxtaposition. Like
what the? You can, dude. It's the customization, especially with characters.
Wow.
You can dress up your corgis, dress up your cats, your unicorns, polar bears, tigers. No matter, it's got every
Party animals.
Even after you score and they tell you who the winner is, you can start fighting when they.
Yo, it's
while the scoreboard's up. I haven't played it yet. I heard it's good though.
It's really
all right.
great.
So we're playing Party Animals and Thunder Ray tonight.
Party Animals, yeah. Exactly.
Submarine's going there.
Oh,
yeah, I literally just I wrote a note on my phone to myself. I have to download.
Wait, is that? I didn't think it was on PS5 though.
No, it's not on PlayStation. It's only on PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got Xbox.
Is it part of the Game Pass?
It's not on Game Pass.
Yeah,
for
I would
PC.
think so.
It is
part of
the
Game
Xbox console. Game Pass.
It is
Xbox
part of Game Pass.
but not on PC.
No, not on PC, but it is part of Game Pass.
Yeah, but you can get it on Steam as well too. You can get it on Steam or like whatever. I guess various Epic Game. I'm not sure if it's Epic Game, but Steam. You can grab it. But Party Animals is the PC Game of the Night. Definitely grab it. We approve it. It's fun. It's a nice party game for all of us, man. We recommend party games here in PTC, man. As a party we are, so definitely get Party Animals for sure. But that is going.
I haven't played it yet. I'm not recommending it. I haven't played it yet. And I won't recommend it until I play it for at least 25 hours. I promise. I won't.
That's fair. That's fair. But that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it of the show. Rob, before we go, man, tell everybody where they can follow you at.
So you can find me on Instagram under my real name, Rob Franzese. It's actually same spelling as I have here in my little window. You can find me on YouTube and TikTok under the Real Life Peter Griffin, and on Twitch as well. I'm Real Life Peter Griffin, one word. And we're actually going to be dual streaming once again, you and I, this Wednesday.
Yep.
We're going to be starting Evil West finally. I've been sitting on this game for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about playing it, and we just haven't been doing it. But we're going to be getting our stream on. I got to get back on and get more video gaming time in, because I was like consistent for like a week and a half, and then I disappeared off the face of the earth again.
Right.
But and then of course on Friday Night Lives for YouTube, we got the Break Room podcast. Our logo is like a little Mjolnir on an angle in a circle. It's like black and white. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. We have a lot of fun on that show.
Nice. There you go. So make sure y'all follow Rob on every social media, and definitely tune into his podcast as well too. Go ahead, Siv. I'm sorry.
And if you want to, if you guys want to find me, you can find me now in the pages of Old School Gamer magazine, where I am now a full-time staff writer. So if you'd like to read some really well-written commentary on the state of the retro gaming video game scene, I will be there. So check us out, Old School Gamer magazine.
There you go.
Print media is not dead.
Exactly.
Yet.
So with that, of course, we're not going to end the show before we get the end credits. For sure, you can follow us on every social media. Our QR code is right down there, so I can just save on the voices, save on the dialogue as usual. The QR code is right down the bottom, so you can go ahead, take your phone out, hit the QR code. Our links are right there. Hit us on PTC Nation, where you can actually join as community, man, share everything. I'm not going to explain it all, because you already know. You hear me say it all the time. PTC Nation is a community where all gamers can come together and pass the control together. That is it, man. Listen, that makes it so much easier, guys, for real. So, listen, like I said, we got a real quick upcoming show. We also have a live show at J1Con. Will be happening soon. We cannot tell you the special guest because it's going to be a surprise. So you got to just come to J1Con.
Because we don't have one.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have one.
It's me.
I can't, man.
John Cena, you won't be able to see him.
That's right, for real. But make sure y'all meet us up with J1Con November 3rd to the 5th. That's j1con.com for more information about that. You can see all of us at the show. It's going to be amazing. Seriously, I cannot wait, man. So other than that, that is going to be it. Much love to everybody. For Smoke, for Nick, for Siv, for Rob Francisi, I am McNux. This has been Pass Controller. And as always, people, get good.
Go Birds.
Peace and hair grease. Hey, Sid, I'm waiting to get Charlie Brown, man.
You gave me that Charlie Brown. That one?
No, but I'm talking about Super 7.
I know. I'm good.
Dude, it's like watching you. And then when I saw the video, I was like, oh, I'm talking about Charlie Brown.
That's another one I got to scoop. Have you guys played WrestleQuest yet?
Yes, we had Action on as our last guest. The guy does the voice of Chacho Man.
Oh, no shit.
Well, actually, he does about 50 voices in that game, but that's it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play it.
Really good.
I put it in my wish list when it was like not available to buy yet. Now it's really good.
It's really good, man.